What's up, you guys? How y'all guys doing? It's Deontay, D2K Show. What's up? What's up? Happy Monday.
Women you talk to.
His wife? I was supposed to say, calling someone a race traitor?
But you guys don't care.
I hope you realize that is the most that you can say as a white woman.
Of course.
Of course it is, because they know they're...
This isn't a good look for you.
You think I care about my look?
No, trust me. It is evident by how you look, you don't care. We get that, trust me. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying this, trying to be a social warrior, if you actually cared, you probably would care about the child who got, and also the person who got by the person that we were looking for. But see, you don't care.
No, I don't care.
Exactly. They don't care about children. They don't care about nothing but their own little personal virtue signaling.
Exactly. Thank you.
They are literally admitting that they are terrible people in 4K. When are y'all going to believe that?
It is evident by how you look, you don't care.
Another reason why I had to expeditiously leave the liberals. I realized that the most people I have ever met in my black ass life have been liberal. The only thing they want to do is hide it. When you meet a conservative, he'll wear it on his chest. A liberal will try to fight.
What's up, you guys? This is Black History Month, President's Day. And they talking about some black people can't get IDs. That's crazy. I got my ID, 43. I'm pretty sure you guys got y'all ID. I'm pretty sure the people out here that's homeless got that ID. All these homeless people out here drunk, on drugs. Somebody buying it. They buying it themselves because they got their own ID. Let's continue.
Voter ID laws in order to protect their fraud with votes. But they disguise it under the guise of minorities won't have access because those idiots can't even get IDs. And we're going to say this to their faces, and they're so stupid, they're not going to be insulted. But let's talk about the voter fraud, though.
Right, that's crazy. This is my other channel, Deontay Red and Ray Podcast Show. As you can see, I do other stuff. Once again, it's my other channel, Deontay Red and Ray Podcast Show. Hope you guys like it. Subscribe to that channel too. Subscribe. You guys will enjoy it. Good morning. Thanks for joining in.
Oh, because I made some pretty serious
IDs are not racist.
The first election I voted in was Trump's. I've never voted in a midterm. I've never voted.
What?
I have never voted in a midterm election. Ever.
Right.
I've never voted in a primary. Ever.
Tell us that again.
Oh my gosh.
Right, so what we see here is someone voted in your name for a midterm primary, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 presidential elections. You're saying you did not vote in.
I can tell you that
This is why we need the IDs.
I can tell you I'm a bad patriot. The first time I got voted to see President Trump, that's my first presidential election. I have never voted in a midterm. I have never voted in another presidential election. This is all a lie. I am so obsessed.
So we're looking at 2 presidents.
Excuse me? You see, this is why these Democrats don't want voter ID.
Right, they don't want voter IDs. They want to cheat.
You need ID.
Both parties ain't the greatest, but
you don't think it's
come on,
important
Democrats,
to
y'all
prove who you
bogus.
is when you voting? Yes, you do. You want the fraud to continue. We done caught y'all red-handed. This is 2026, bitch. We got the internet. This is not 1995 or whatever year, whatever playbook y'all operating out of. The shit is outdated. You can't lie to the people anymore.
Nope.
We catch you in 4K.
Leader Jeffries, you recently stated that requiring proof of citizenship
Go ahead,
to vote
man.
in
Good
elections
morning.
is voter suppression. Can you explain how requiring proof of ID is voter suppression?
That's not a statement that I ever made.
You sure about that?
Then you should have brought the SAVE Act, which is a voter suppression bill that we strongly oppose, to the floor.
And you don't think it reeks of foul play to any regular thing?
Let's play that again for
You
y'all.
don't want people to prove who they are when they're voting? It's common sense.
Just common sense.
When you
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Is voter suppression.
That's not a statement that I ever made.
You sure about that?
Then you should have brought.
Okay.
Leader Jeffries, you recently stated that requiring proof of citizenship to vote in elections is voter suppression. Can you explain how requiring proof of ID is voter suppression?
That's not a statement that I ever made.
You sure about that?
Then you should have brought the SAVE Act, which is a voter suppression bill that we strongly oppose, to the floor.
And you don't think it reeks of foul play to any regular thinking person that you don't want people to prove who they are when they're voting?
Subscribe,
It's
subscribe,
common
everybody. Have a
sense.
brother
Just common
out.
sense.
Subscribe, subscribe.
So blatantly go against common sense. You clearly evil and up to no good. Just like when y'all said children can change their genders. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to any regular grown-up that you don't need any identification to vote. You need identification to do everything else. It's damn common sense.
Americans need an ID to drive, to open a bank account, to buy cold medicine, to file government assistance. As is noted by the leader, you even need an ID to attend events of most Democrat politicians and even the Democrat National Convention. So, why would voting be any different than that? They can't
IDs
answer
are
the
not
question.
racist.
I can answer the question because they're committing voter fraud.
And it's through eyewitness testimony that's been corroborated by others through their eyewitness statements that 130,000 to 280,000 completed ballots for the 2020 general election were shipped from Bethpage, New York to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, where those ballots and the trailer in which they were shipped disappeared.
Subscribe, subscribe,
And
everybody.
so they
Have a
come up with
brother
all
out.
these crazy excuses of why they can't support it.
This is election rigging. This is voter suppression. The American people aren't going to stand for it, and nobody should vote for
It
it.
is an 80% issue. And by the way, over 70%
conservative.
of Democrats support this.
The Save America Act is just another part of a scheme by House Republicans and the Trump administration to take over our election.
Democrat elected politicians are totally out of touch.
They've attempted so many arguments
Trump
to
supporter.
oppose the passage of this simple legislation.
What this bill does do is make other problems and make it harder to vote. It undermines our democracy.
And this is, I think, if you look at 2024 election, it was the return of common sense. And nothing could be more common sense than actually having to prove through voter ID that you are who you say you are to vote in our elections. If we believe in secure elections, this is absolutely something we should do. And you have to do it to check into a hotel, to buy a plane ticket, right? Everybody understands that. Why would the Democrats oppose it? It's interesting it's happening at the same time as we're having this illegal immigration debate in this country. Interesting it's happening at the same time as we're having this illegal immigration debate in this country. Because effectively the Democrats know they can't win elections fairly and they want to cheat.
See, that's what these liberal liars do. Their extreme views aren't popular, so they lie and manipulate. And for a long time, they were able to manipulate y'all's emotions.
Right.
Because y'all were so afraid to tell people they're wrong. You see, I wonder why people consider me so brave. Because I'm not afraid to tell anybody that they're dead wrong. And I don't care if I stand alone while I do it. You crazier than shit. You need to prove. And we saw what happened to that poor Caucasian lady.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store.
I've never voted.
What?
I have never voted in a midterm election.
The fact that that happened just once should be enough to make Americans be like, yeah. Oh, and by the way,
It is an 80% issue. And by the way, over 70% of Democrats support this.
Americans at like a 75 to 80% clip think overwhelmingly you should prove who you are when you voting. But these Democrats, these donkeys.
This is election rigging.
Just another part of a scheme by House Republicans.
It undermines our democracy.
They want to keep the fraud going. It's just like when Elon Musk came into the government to look for fraud and waste, and the only people hollering were the Democrats. I got news for you, bitch. If somebody comes in to look for fraud and waste, and you're complaining about it, you're the fraud. More importantly, you're the fraud. Because usually the waste doesn't really know it's waste. You're angry because you don't want the money to stop. Because that's what it's about. Y'all get into the government and you think, okay, I got access to all this government money now. I got to figure out how to get some. Wait. Trump wants us to live in a modern world of transparency? Oh no, we can't have that. We got to commit voter fraud.
Right, subscribe.
More importantly, we are seeing that us and our extreme values and the fraud is not popular in America these days. And we're going to continue to lose the popular vote because these people have the internet. We can't just tell them anything. We get caught lying in 4K every day.
You recently stated that requiring proof of citizenship to vote in elections is voter suppression.
That's not a statement that I ever made. You should have brought the SAVE Act, which is a voter suppression bill.
So we're not popular anymore. The only way we can win is to cheat. And what did Biden do? They imported a whole bunch of potential new voters because they've lost the soul of America. So they think if we import a bunch of people, they'll be forever loyal to us. But Trump finna get them about her. We ain't even 2 years in yet. You hear me? And if you think Donald Trump is not going to be the Bill Walsh of presidents, you crazy as hell. You see, Bill Walsh changed the NFL. Bill Walsh was the head coach that made everybody rethink everything. Bill Walsh had the coaching tree that had so many Super Bowls after that. People are disciples of Bill.
And it's time for Lefties Losing It. Let's start with some happy news. CNN has lost nearly 2/3 of its viewers since 2016 amid growing fears the network is circling the drain. What a happy headline that is. But I can't imagine why CNN is struggling. After all, they have a token conservative now. It's Scott Jennings is on the network. Here are 5 lefties, including the host, just yelling at him for existing.
That is not what she said. Are you saying they can't figure out how to vote? Are you saying they can't figure out how to vote? I'm saying it is a fact.
I can't understand why that's not rating. It's hugely entertaining. Let's have an example of the balance that CNN is famous for from Abby Phillip. Let's see Abby's always consistent analysis when Ilhan Omar was sprayed with salad dressing compared to when President Trump was shot by a deranged lefty.
Ilhan Omar in particular has been the center, and you heard it there from the president, the center of a lot of awful attacks. He called her.
It's amazing Abby still have a show. All she does is let the Democrats lie all the goddamn time. As soon as a conservative speaks the truth, she cuts them off. Especially when they cooking. She cuts them off, like let them finish. Let these people finish their bullshit ass lie. If Scott lying, let him finish his lie then. We'll figure it out. Just talking shit. Let's continue though.
Garbage. Donald Trump is actually responsible for the vitriol. So is there going to be any acknowledgement of that? Should there be? It's not about the politics of the individual. I mean, look at these people. The thing that they have in common is their complete lack of mental stability. Why is that not the conversation? Why are we in this place of who's to blame? Is it the Democrats or the Republicans? The Republicans aren't trying to assassinate the Democrats. And a lot of talk of they. And then when it's not a they, it's just a person. It's
Good morning.
Let's hear now from trans activist Lily Tino Contino, who has gone from being passive-aggressive to aggressive-aggressive. Fresh from being investigated by authorities for filming real women in female restrooms in Disney, Contino is claiming that if you're guilty of the crime of misgendering, then there will be a confrontation. Oh yes, the dudes are losing it.
Because if we meet and you call me by the wrong pronouns, it's going to be a confrontation. And I don't think you want that. I think you just want to go about your day. I want to go about my day. I don't want to have to be upset about getting misgendered. And I know you don't want to purposely upset people. And if you do want to purposely upset people, then you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself why. Why am I like this? Why do I want to make people's lives harder? Why don't I want to lift up my fellow human?
You see, it's not about making lives harder. It's about not submitting to bullying or indulging in the delusions of confused folk, even if those confused folk are threatening confrontation or violence. Now to Munich, where Secretary of State Marco Rubio delivered an exceptional speech, genuinely profound, but Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, well, she wasn't impressed.
Was a pure appeal to Western culture. My favorite part was when he said that American cowboys came from Spain.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut this a little short. But I just want to let you guys know I have another YouTube channel, Deontay Red and Ray Podcast Show. You should subscribe to that channel as well. I ain't gonna hold you guys up. Thank you for your time. Blessings. I'll be back. I'm gonna blog more. Thank you guys.